Hi, boys and girls. We are going to go over your Unit 1, Week 2 vocabulary. So these are your words to know. Repeat after me. I'm going to say the word, and then we are going to go over the definition and how to properly use the word in a sentence. Our first word is accountable, advise, desperately, hesitated, humiliated, inspiration, self-esteem, uncomfortably. Here's a good time to pause and write all of these words down. As we write them down, we're going to use them in a sentence to show the proper context and also go over some examples of a deeper meaning and student-friendly language for what all of these words mean. Afterwards, you can pick 3 words and write some questions about them with a partner to answer, going over and using your vocabulary words. So let's pause here, write down your words, and then we can go over the meanings and how to use them in a sentence. Okay, so let's go over our first word, accountable. Accountable. Sam is held accountable for washing his dog. How are the words accountable and responsible similar? So let's stop there. The meaning of accountable means that you are being held responsible for something. So in this instance, Sam is responsible or accountable for washing his dog. What are some things that you might be responsible or held accountable for? Our second word, advise. Advise means to give your opinion on something or to show someone or tell someone how to do something based on what you think. So, a coach can advise you on how to improve your swimming. So, the coach can show you or tell you how they think you can better improve your swimming, what you should do with your arms, how you can practice holding your breath, or what you can do with your legs. So they're giving you their advice or opinion, and they're advising you on how to improve something. So, what is something you can advise me on? What's something that you could give me your opinion on or tell me how to do something based on what you know? Okay, our third word, desperately. Desperately means that you're doing something in a panicked way, that you're really nervous about something, or that you're trying to do something in like a really frantic way. So the woman was desperately trying to remember where she had left her keys. She was panicked. She was worried. She was probably looking through things quickly, looking in a bunch of different places, trying to desperately find her keys. So, can you describe a time when you desperately tried to remember something? Were you taking a test and you were desperately trying to remember the skills you learned? Or were you walking through the parking lot and desperately trying to remember where your mom had parked the car? Were you desperately trying to find your favorite video game so that you could get online and play with some of your friends? What is something that you have done where you have done it desperately? You were in a panicked, frantic mode and you were trying to do it really fast. Okay, and our fourth word is hesitated. Hesitated means that you stop or you pause before you do something. So before I cross the street, I always hesitate and look both ways. So I stop or I pause. So when you hesitate, you stop or you pause before you do something. In our sentence, the dog hesitated before jumping up and grabbing the food off of the counter. When have you hesitated before doing something? So, have you hesitated before walking up the stairs because maybe you seen something wet and you didn't want to slip? Did you hesitate before taking a bite of a new food that you've never tried before and you had to look at it first maybe to figure out if you think you would like it? When you hesitate, you stop and pause before you do something. So let's think of a time when you had to stop and pause or you hesitated before you did something. Okay, let's go to our fifth word, humiliated. When you are humiliated, you are completely and utterly embarrassed by something that has happened. You're completely embarrassed and ashamed of something that has happened. So let's see. Sarah felt humiliated when she forgot her lines. So she was in the middle of doing a play or doing an audition and she forgot her lines and she was so embarrassed and she was so ashamed. So when you are humiliated, you are embarrassed or ashamed of something that happened. So how is humiliated similar to the word embarrassed? What is a way that you can compare those two words and talk about how they're the same? Okay, let's move to our next word, inspiration. Inspiration is a thing where you are inspired to do something, especially something creative. So if you are inspired or influenced to do something creative, you might look at a beautiful butterfly and be inspired or influenced to paint a beautiful picture of a butterfly, or write a poem about a butterfly, or do a dance based on the way that the butterfly moved. Looking at the beautiful butterfly helped you influence all of your creative abilities to do or create something. So in our sentence, we have the girl found inspiration for her drawing in nature. So nature and how beautiful it looked gave her the influence to create a drawing based on what she's seen around her. So inspiration means that you are influenced to create something based on what you see. When have you had to write a story and where does your inspiration come from? So if I told you to write a creative story about superheroes, what people around you or what things around you could influence the way you write the story? Who would be the characters in your story? What would be the setting of your story? Based on what's around you, what is going to influence you or give you inspiration to create this story? Okay, our next word is self-esteem. Self-esteem is how good or how strongly you feel about yourself. All of the positive things and feelings you have about yourself and everything that you can do. So for self-esteem, our sentence is winning the soccer championship helped improve Billy's confidence and self-esteem. So, because he won the game, he was able to build up positive thoughts and feelings about how good he is as a soccer player. Self esteem all comes from within yourself and how you feel about yourself and how you view yourself. So, his confidence was built up and made better and made more positive because he won the game. So, that helped his self esteem. So, what is something that you can do or something that you have done that has helped you build strong self esteem? And our last one, uncomfortable. So, uncomfortable means when you experience negative feelings or thoughts or emotions based on something that's happening around you or something that you're experiencing personally. So, I could say I was uncomfortably cold outside because I didn't wear a coat. If it's really cold outside and I just wear a jacket or a t-shirt like this, I'm going to experience some negative feelings because I'm uncomfortable. I don't feel good outside in the cold wearing things that aren't thick or warm. For our sentence here, we have Sonia's throat felt uncomfortably sore. So that meant she was experiencing negative feelings, how her throat was actually feeling. It felt sore, it was bothering her, she didn't feel comfortable. So when you are uncomfortable, what are some things you can do? What are some things that can feel uncomfortably tight? So think about that. What is something that you might wear that might be uncomfortably tight right now? For me, I don't like really tight socks. They're hard to put on. I don't like to wear them. And I usually just like to wear my fuzzy boots or my Uggs or something. So, what is something that you can wear or that you have to wear that's uncomfortably tight? Let me guess. Your mask you have to wear to the grocery store is uncomfortable. What's something else that might be uncomfortable? Okay, so now that we've had some time to talk about our vocabulary words, let's go over them one more time and then you can move on to your activity. Repeat after me: accountable, advise, desperately, hesitated, humiliated, inspiration, self esteem, uncomfortably. Use the sentences as guides to help you understand what the words mean and how you can use them in a sentence. So, for your next activity, pick 3 words, write 3 questions for your partner to answer using your vocabulary words. How can you present these in a sentence or using them in a sentence to ask a question? For example, you can ask your partner, what's something you do that makes you have high self esteem? Or, what was your inspiration for drawing this picture? Okay, boys and girls, I'll see you in the next video for our vocabulary lesson. Bye.